Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to a new YouTube video, and in today's video, we're going to be ranking all of the weapons that are available to us in Bloodstrike from meta to all the way to doo-doo tier. So we're going to have a look at which weapons are actually good in Bloodstrike, and you'll want to stick around until the end of the video because for all of the meta weapons, I'll also be sharing the meta loadouts. So let's hop into the video, and I hope you enjoy. Alright guys, so this is our tier list. We have the meta weapons, we have good weapons, we have meh weapons, we have for fun weapons, and then we also have the doo-doo weapons. Those are the weapons that no one actually uses because they are actually bad. So let's go ahead and put the first one in this list. The first weapon being the M4. Now, as we all know, M4 right now, I mean, it's in a rough spot, and it even got an ultra skin with this current battle pass. So yeah, I am gonna put this in the doo-doo tier because honestly, this damage output is just like shooting with peace at people. So yeah, not a good one. Up next, we have the minigun, and now the minigun is a really like decent weapon, but you kind of only want to use this for fun when you're like in a pre-made squad and you're just messing around with people. So I'm just gonna put that in the for fun section. Up next, we have the weapon that we all hate, and well, some people actually love this weapon, but I definitely hate it. But I have to admit that this is a meta weapon. It's the Origin 12, and honestly, this is one of the only guns where you can take down multiple people very easily without actually losing any HP. I mean, this weapon, if used well, if used in close quarter combat, is really deadly. You can kill an entire team with one clip just with the Origin 12, which actually sounds really crazy when you think about it. So yeah, definitely a meta weapon. Hate it or love it, objectively speaking, it's a very good weapon, and that's why everyone is abusing it in the ranked lobbies. Up next, we have the P90, and the P90 used to be a meta weapon. I wouldn't really categorize it as a meta weapon now because it has fallen off, and only people that really love the P90 still play it. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and put this in the good category. It's not a bad weapon, it's also not a meh weapon because people still use it, and I think it's just a good weapon overall. It's maybe not the strongest SMG anymore, but definitely still playable. Up next, we have the KAG-6. Now, the KAG-6 is an assault rifle with very little recoil, has decent damage output, but not a lot of people use it because it does get outclassed by other assault rifles. So whereas I don't think that this is a doo-doo weapon, I also don't think it's in the meta, and it's arguably good. So this would either go into the meh category or good category. This honestly, for me, goes kind of in the meh category because it's not really meta, and you only kind of want to use this gun when you only have to, right? Like, you're not gonna use a KAG-6 loadout like we used to do back in April or May. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be in the meh category. Now, up next, we have the PKM, and the PKM is an actually more recently added gun. PKM on itself can actually be a very good gun, and you can really spray people down with it, but you need a good loadout and you need to know how to recoil control it. So you know what, I would actually dare put this in I was gonna say I would dare put it in good because it's not a meh gun. Like, it is actually powerful. So yeah, you know what, hot take, I'm gonna put it in the good category. It's a good weapon. It's honestly a good weapon. Up next, we have the recently added Uzi, and I mean, the Uzi is incredibly meta. Like, whenever I'm playing ranked, there's a lot of people using this gun. It is very good, very nice damage output, high mobility if you go for a mobility loadout, and a really good hip fire as well. So this is a really good gun, a really good SMG, and I definitely think it's one of the top SMGs at the moment. Up next, we have the RPG, and the RPG is gonna go straight into the doo-doo category. That thing barely does any damage, consumes a lot of ammo. It's just not in a good spot, and I don't really know how the developers can buff this gun without actually making it overpowered. So yeah, definitely goes into the doo-doo category. And speaking about the RPG, I didn't forget about me needing to get the golden camo, and I know some of you guys are tagging me about it, but it's a very hard challenge. Okay, I need to get 3 kills consecutively with an RPG. Unless I have some paid actors in my lobby, that's literally just not possible. So you know, I didn't forget about it. I will get there, guys. I will get there. All right, up next, we have the MP9, and the MP9 is one of those SMGs with a lower fire rate, but it's not necessarily bad. You do need a custom loadout for it to be somewhat decent, but definitely not my favorite, and I don't see a lot of people using it. So yeah, I am gonna, you know, go on a hot take here and put it in the meh category. It's decent, but like not the best, right? Up next, we have the Kala, and the Kala is in a very, very interesting spot right now because ever since the M700 got nerfed, a lot more people have been picking this up. And if you know how to pace your shots, then yeah, you can definitely make this work. I'm gonna put this in the meta because I actually see a lot of people use it, whether it's on Shutter Island or Desert Valley. I think this is a very, very solid pick, especially if you love sniping in Bloodstrike. You know, if you don't mind the ADS time, then this is a really, really good pick. Up next, we have the Vector, and this is actually one of my favorite guns at the moment. The Vector is a very, very, very powerful SMG. It has one of the highest fire rates in the game, and honestly, you can just like mow people down with this without them even realizing or them even being able to put any damage back onto you. So, I mean, this to me is a really, really meta SMG. Takes a lot of skills, takes a lot of good aim to master this gun, because if you do miss half of your magazine, you are just gonna simply die. Definitely need a custom loadout for this as well. So yeah. Anyway, moving on, we are gonna have a look at the Scar over here. The Scar is an assault rifle with a very, very high fire rate and has a nice knockback with it with the recoil. And I think this is a really, really good assault rifle. I don't see a lot of people picking it up because I think people kind of like, you know, are not used to controlling the recoil of this gun. Let me know if you guys want me to make a recoil control guide about guns in Bloodstrike, but this is a very powerful AR, and I think it actually is up there with the AK. So I am gonna put this in meta. I think this is a really, really solid AR, and if you know how to control this gun, it is absolutely destructive. So up next, we have the VSS, and the VSS, I mean, I have mixed feelings about this gun because the damage output is not bad, but the fact that you don't carry enough bullets or like very little bullets is a kind of like a throw off, right? I mean, in the hands of a good player, this weapon works great, but I don't know, man. It's just like a little bit off, you know? So I am gonna definitely put this in the mech category. I don't think it deserves to be in the doo-doo category because it does have nice damage output and you can make this work really, really well with some practice. So, you know, definitely not gonna put it in the doo-doo category, but it's definitely a mech gun that, you know, it's not something that you want to be picking up. Up next, we have the MP5, and now the MP5 is a very, very, very good SMG. It's one of people's favorites SMG. It's just gonna go straight into the meta. I don't need to explain this. Up next, we have the MP155, and now back when I started playing Bloodstrike, the MP155 was a broken shotgun. Everyone would be playing this shotgun because it was so good. And then after that, they nerfed it and people kind of stopped playing with it, but it takes a lot of skill and you really need to hit your shots, because if you don't hit your shots, then you're pretty much like screwed, and yeah, man, you're just gonna die. Actually, you know what? Maybe it deserves to be in the mech category because it does get heavily outclassed by the SMGs. Yeah, actually, man, I was thinking with my heart, but like when I'm like thinking objectively, this actually should go in the meh section. Like, objectively speaking. All right, up next we have the FAL, and now the FAL is also one of those most recent added guns, or like the more recent added gun. FAL is a solid weapon, has nice damage output. Personally, I really don't like playing it because the screen shaking is that heavy that it actually makes me nauseous, but that doesn't mean that the gun isn't good. I think it deserves to be in the good category. It's not quite meta because I don't see people picking it up that much in the lobby, so that is definitely like a gun that, you know, it's a good gun, but people just don't like playing with it. Maybe for the same reason that I just mentioned. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Up next, we have the Desert Eagle, and the Desert Eagle is definitely a good gun. Good alternative to the Akimbo Glocks. If you don't have the level 40 Akimbo Glocks unlocked, then the Eagle is definitely a go-to. I'm just gonna put that in the good category. It's like honestly a solid pick. Up next, we have the AUG, and the AUG I would actually like to put... Well, I'm actually going to put that in the meta because I know, especially in mobile lobbies, people are playing this gun a lot. It's a very nice gun. It has very nice damage output, medium to short range. So yeah, definitely deserves to be in that meta pick. I think a lot of people have grown to love this gun. So, I mean, personally, I don't play it that much, but I see a lot of other people play it. So I think it's pretty safe to put it in the meta pick. Anyway, up next, we have the URB, and the URB is another SMG that is very powerful, has good damage output, but people don't quite quite pick it up as much because, I mean, honestly, I think this is one of those guns where the fire rate is low, and if you actually start missing your shots, then you're pretty much screwed against the high fire rate SMGs or even like Origin 12. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this in the good category. I think it deserves to be up there. It's kind of, it might actually even be slightly better than the P90. I'm not sure, but it's definitely not a meh pick. I think it's actually a solid weapon. Up next, we have the FN Poopy, and the FN Poopy goes into the doo-doo category. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't like this gun. I don't know why other like creators are like hyping this gun up so much. I don't think it's that good. I mean, up close, sure, you can beam people down because of the high fire rate, but like medium to long distance, it doesn't work that well. And even up close, to be honest, I usually get destroyed by Vectors and Uzis. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of it. Let me know what you guys think about the FN Poopy. For me personally, that's a no-go. Anyway, up next we have the M700, and the M700 was nerfed, and I'm just gonna put this in the good category. I don't think it's meh. I also don't think it's bad, but the nerf did make it so that it's just good and not meta anymore. You know, a lot of people that are now playing Slampers are gonna pick up a Kala or a Kar98K above it. So yeah, we're just gonna leave that at good. Up next, we have the bow, and the bow is something that you just play for fun, so we're just gonna put that in the fun section. You know, I used to play a lot with the bow. I actually have a golden camo for this weapon, and I mean, you know, I have a weak spot for this gun because it's actually a lot of fun to play, you know, when you're like sliding, charging it, and shooting people. And then if you hit a headshot, it's very, very satisfying. So yeah, love the bow, but it's just a fun gun. Up next, we have the AR-97, and the AR-97 is interesting because I think this gun is actually incredibly good, but people do not like playing burst guns or burst assault rifles. So I think that's why the gun is not quite meta, because people are just like turned off by the fact that it's a burst gun. But the damage output is honestly really good, and you can really destroy teams and destroy your enemies with this gun. So honestly, I'm gonna put it in good. The reason why I'm not putting it in meta is because people kind of don't play the gun. But that doesn't mean that it's not good. If you are interested in playing AR-97, or if you're into burst guns, this gun is actually insane. Up next, we have the Glock, and we all know that the Glock is best in akimbo mode, and I'm just gonna put that in meta. Some people even run just akimbo Glocks with a sniper or something, and it's really fun. It's not only fun, but it's also incredibly powerful. I mean, akimbo Glocks can literally win a 1v1 versus SMGs. So yeah, they are very good. They are also very nice to play with because you have that mobility while you're sliding and shooting two guns at the same time. So yeah, really love it. Up next, we have the Kar98K, and you already know this is like my actual favorite weapon since it came out. I mean, I've fallen in love with this gun. I love sniping with it, and it's definitely a meta gun, especially if you're in PC lobbies. You will see Kar98Ks everywhere, and I mean everywhere. And even if you're like gliding down, you'll have to be careful because otherwise you'll get sniped in the air. All right, up next we have the MCX. Now the MCX is one of those guns where I'm like thinking to myself, dude, it's okay, but it's not good. It's not meta. It's just like out there, you know? Like if you like playing like high fire rate assault rifles, it's like this is the gun to go to, right? Actually, the AUG is even better than that. But anyway, I think it doesn't deserve to be in the doo-doo section next to the M4. I think this is like a better version of the M4. So if you love playing the M4, I would highly suggest that you try out the MCX because it's actually like, it kind of feels to me as an upgraded version of the M4. So we are just going to put that in the meh category. I don't think it's doo-doo, but also it's not good either. So, and then last but not least, and I know this image looks a little bit weird, but we have the AK-47, also my favorite assault rifle. I really love the AK-47. It's been my go-to assault rifle ever since I started playing this game. It has nice damage output, it has a nice fire rate, and it honestly is the assault rifle to be using for long to medium distance ranges as well, because you can really beam people down even from a longer distance. So yeah, definitely gonna put this in the meta pick over here. And that will conclude this list. So as meta weapons, we are gonna have Origin 12, Uzi, Kala, Vector, Scar, AK-47, MP5, AUG, akimbo Glocks, and Kar98K. These are the weapons that you want to be using in your ranked matches to climb and to really dominate your enemies, really. And then in the good section, we also have, these are like good alternatives to whatever is also on top of the meta: P90, PKM, FAL, Desert Eagle, URB, M700, and AR-97. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the list as it is. If you guys would change anything in this list, what would it be? Let me know in the comments down below. This is just my personal opinion, so if you don't agree with what I've put down here, please let me know in the comments down below, because I think this stuff is really interesting. Anyway, to finish off the video, I'm gonna be showing you guys all of the loadouts that I have for these meta weapons that you have here on the screen, because people ask me all the time. So yeah, enjoy, and I'll see you next time.